Hi everybody, this is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. So in today's video, I just want to kind of talk about and share another story about, of course, my life. And this goes way back, and I say way back, and I mean towards the beginning of my awareness of my awakening, which by this September the 14th is only going to be 3 years. 3 years. But if you understand how this works, I have been in my awakening process for a very long time. It hasn't just been 3 years. I believe my awakening process began after my auto accident, when I really went into a state of depression as a result of my physical injuries. So that was the beginning. It took about 16 years to create that type of change. And so I wanted to kind of tell you a story about how things went. Let me see. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was driving behind beside a couple of things happened yesterday. So I was driving behind a truck and I saw this scripture, which of course I think I made a video about, so I won't repeat that today. And then beside me was another vehicle that had a license plate. Their license plate read, "Be the light." And I got emotional, like I am getting emotional right now. Really good tears, of course. Good times that I'm about to talk about. So these are tears and the emotions and thoughts that I feel are part of a blessing and miracles and true faith and true love. Before I continue on, if you guys haven't looked at my video, and I don't know what it's labeled on, I will do my best when I post this video, I will do my best to kind of go back and look over my other videos to see what it's actually called. But I think I have, and maybe I haven't, maybe it's only on my social media platforms. I have a photo that I have displayed in either one of my videos or social media posts where I have my car. And I'm going to start crying as well again about that. It was around, I think it was January. And it had to be in January 2019. But please don't quote me on that. That my husband, was getting ready to go start his day, and I was up, of course, and making my coffee in the kitchen. And so he hollered and he said, "Christy, get out here and look at your car." And first, my mind was racing. Oh my gosh, someone came and vandalized my car in the night. Because, I was still very dense, very negative towards the beginning of my awareness. That's just the way that it is. And I came out and I stopped where his truck is, which probably about a person's length, 6 to 7 feet away from, or 10 feet, anything. It was a good distance. I stopped in my tracks as I saw what was on my car. I was in so disbelief. And what it looked like was feathers and ice on my vehicle, all over the place. From the front to the back to the roof to the sides, and even the windows were covered in feathers of frost. And that's when really things really began. And I chose then, that day, to serve at a higher level. That I realized, that was the day that I realized that, oh yeah, there's really something more than myself. There is this higher power. there is God. There is love and beauty and miracles in this reality. What I saw was just so beautiful. And God had been showing me those feathers in my inner vision. But I didn't know what it meant. I would go, whether I was creating stillness or waking up from sleep, I would just see tons of feathers everywhere. And I didn't think about feathers, because then I didn't have this thing or attachment, and it's really not an attachment now. Well, let's talk about that another time. Anyway, I didn't have this fascination with feathers like that, okay, because I didn't really have faith either. So I didn't really believe in angels, because the way that I feared everything, which was an indication that the things that I really believed in was anything that was fear-based. So I was afraid of the dark, which means I was afraid of a boogeyman. I was afraid of ghosts and goblins, all kinds of things, and my imagination would run wild. So if you have fears of those type of things, you understand what I'm talking about. So as I was being shown those feathers in my vision, because I was early on, I was learning to observe what I was being given. The way that my mind was connecting it was palm trees. Palm leaves only. That's all that I could see, just tons of palm tree leaves. But when I saw my car, I knew exactly what it was. It was the visions that God had been showing me, that He was trying to tell me about all these feathers, which of course is the connection with the angels. And there's that Bible verse in the Bible, of course, that talks about the feathers and the angels and all that good stuff. I think it's Psalms 91:4 or 94:1. I always get those mixed up. And let me just go ahead and check while I'm talking about it. You would think that I would remember it by now. Yes, it's Psalm 91:4. It continues, but the entire psalm is 91, which I guess I can go ahead and read to you. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. And please continue on reading this if you so wish. So that was an indication, my first indication, that, wow, there is something really powerful here that is trying to reach me. Mind you, this is also within months of God giving me my mind back. So September the 14th, I really categorize as my anniversary, because that is the moment that I went from being diagnosed with dementia and not knowing sometimes my name, to being able to sit on September the 14th and begin the process of writing a book, which I have not finished yet. In the process of me driving by, of course, I've gotten off topic, but I saw that Be the Light, and it reminded me of when God spoke again. I was resting in bed and coming out of my slumber when I heard the phrase, Be the Light, and some other things, but we'll leave it at Be the Light. And I was again taken aback by that phrase, and I actually, at that time, because I was so negative, unsure of myself, doubtful, I didn't think I could do that. Be the light. You know, it's being a leader. When you choose to be the light, it's being a representation of spirit. I didn't understand the whole detail about what that truly meant, of course, back then. But I knew I had to. So that is what my channel used to be called, Be the Light. And I used to have a couple of, things that I would sign off with Be the Light, because it meant something to me. And I used that as a form of power for myself. To be the light means to really be honest, trustworthy, loving, compassionate, all of that good stuff. And so as I saw that car, it reminded me again of the time. And that's something that I really want you to understand, because we are at a time of, again, remembrance. I use that phrase, a time capsule, in one of my videos in regarding to the Lionsgate portal. God will always take us back to time, to memories, whether they are ones that are full of pain or full of love, only to make us go back, of course, to those painful ones in hopes that we heal those wounds, so that all that is left are beautiful memories. So that when He does take us back to those beautiful memories, we are in awe. We are in this type of golden light that makes us in utter awe of God's greatness. Excuse me for saying His. When you go back to time, because God is taking you there, I want to ask you to really be grateful for them. The terrible times that you've had, or the beautiful moments that you've had. It doesn't matter. Both are necessary, and they both can give you more. More of a goodness that you can't believe exists. I used to always say, not always say, after I began to wake up, or realized I was waking up from my slumber, that I began to realize that, or I put it in my mind, that God is using experiences to shake us, to wake us up even further. You can focus on the experiences and get lost in junk, and in pain, in misery, self-destruction. Or you can just observe your experiences and say, is this you? What are you trying to tell me? Speak to me. Show me something. God will speak. God will manifest the glory of what Source is in your reality when you prove to yourself, not to God, yourself, that there is something beyond you. I have had these human-like miracles, or what I call myself miracles, take place. I have become healthy. I have my mind. I've had the experience of the feathers, and, daily interaction with God. There are other people who have even different experiences, what I can categorize as even greater. But it's all the same. We all receive greatness, miracles, blessings, language, connections differently. We're not meant to be the same in this reality. So what we are able to do or perceive or receive from Source itself shouldn't be the same either. The only thing that is the same and all around is love. Love is universal. Love is the law. I just wanted to share my experience in my time warp here. Back in time of when God was sharing an experience with me. I hope that you find value in it and hearing my part of my experiences. And I hope that my intention of giving you my story, or portions of my stories in my life here, giving you my heart, is to always express that there is love available. That there is so much more available. Because we are here having a beautiful human experience. But sometimes it's not always beautiful to the human. And it takes hearing about somebody else. Sometimes it takes hearing about somebody else's experiences, whether bad experiences or good experiences, to really be shaken. Sparks can go off when things are expressed properly, when things are shared properly, when love is given. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.